All right, I think we're live and on the air for our first show in November. Welcome to Patry Live. Oh, another exciting show tonight, except, okay, I'll admit it, I've got a little bit of a cold, but I think my guest is going to take care of that tonight. She has a special elixir that she will be preparing. I can't even speak anymore. Preparing. I've been drinking all afternoon. Just to get ready for the show. So my guest this evening, one of my guests, is Kim Garron from the New Brunswick Community College. Good evening, Kim.
Good evening, Rob. Thanks for having me.
And you brought a special guest with you.
I did.
You brought your own guest.
I did.
Now, you are the first guest I've had that brought a guest.
I did.
So thank you and congratulations for that.
She's my assistant, actually.
She's your assistant.
Yes.
And what is her name?
Her name's Alexis Murray, and she's a first-year student at NBCC in hotel restaurant operations.
And that's your bailiwick. That's your gig.
That's my gig, yes.
You are in charge of this program.
Well, I'm not in charge, but I'm one of the lead instructors in the program.
You?
Yes.
Okay, and how long have you been doing that?
14 years now.
For a young girl like you.
Thanks, Rob. I don't have a quarter for you.
Good
yes.
Lord. No, you went to New Brunswick Community College.
I'm an alumni from NBCC.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
And what did you take when you went?
I took a course called Accommodation Food and Beverage Program, which is the same program, similar program to what we offer today, but it was a 2-year program back then. And we did most of our training at the Algonquin because the Algonquin was closed during those days. So the meeting rooms became classrooms, and we did all our training right there.
See, no, I thought when I asked you what you took, I swore you were going to say plumbing.
No.
Because that would have been fun.
I do know how to fix a toilet if I have to.
Do you? Well, that's good, because I got a few problems at home you might be able to help me with. So you've been there for 15 years. 14. 14. Well, coming on to 15.
Coming on to 15,
Well, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's a pretty special job.
And tell us about the course in general.
The course in general it's a hotel restaurant operations, which basically trains the students all aspects of the hotel and the hospitality industry, so that they're well trained to go out and work in hotels, restaurants, even in Shanix, the Parkway, the hotel, the senior citizens complex now too. Yeah. They're kind of operating those like hotels. Yeah. So the students could even go and work in places like that. So from front desk to reservations to housekeeping to inventory controls, bartending, wine service, banquets and event planning and restaurant service. It's a little bit of everything.
Well, that sounds like a very exciting course.
It is. It's lots of fun.
We had spoken a couple of weeks ago, I believe, about see now this cold. I'm so congested I can't
What's
think.
The events we do?
No, what's the other course? The culinary.
Culinary. Yes.
I was going to say the cooking course.
The cooking course.
You know,
the chefs wouldn't like that.
Flip a pancake and fry
they
some
learn
bacon.
a lot more. Yeah.
I know.
Yes.
And that word culinary escaped me.
Yes.
But I was going to say, you're kind of working in conjunction with
We work
that.
side by side.
Yeah,
we have a culinary arts program, which is a 1-year program. And after the students graduate from that program, they can write their first block in line for their apprenticeship. And actually they can go on to the Moncton campus, the same as our program, to take a management degree in culinary arts, diploma rather, a management degree, diploma in hotel restaurant management as well. So that's what Alexis is planning on doing.
That's what Alexis is doing.
Yes.
And now she's going to be, after the break, we're going to go over to the CHCO bar, and she's going to try and get me all liquored up, which is...
Going to try to fix your cold.
Try and fix my cold, yeah, not get me all liquored up. This is a family show. But she's going to be making drinks for us. So that's part of the course.
Yeah, we begin bartending in January, and we learn all about the different spirits, liqueurs, wines, mixology, responsible beverage service, inventory controls, ordering supplies, everything to do with the bar business.
That's very cool. You know, if I was going to take a course like the I'd want to take both courses, because I think both of them would be really good to have under your belt.
Yeah, we have some students that come back after the culinary and take the hotel side. And the odd time we've had a student come and take the hotel side and go to culinary, but we separated the programs a couple of years ago because those students that came when it was a 2-year program, it was called Hotel Restaurant Culinary. but half the class really wanted to be in the kitchen, and they hated the dining room or being out front with the guests.
Right.
And the people that were, the students that were out front with the guests hated when they had to go in the kitchen. So we thought it was best to separate the two programs, and the students are much happier, and they're all get jobs, and it's a great program.
That's great. Now, so is that because they have different skill sets where they
No,
want
I
to
think
be?
it's their different passions is
Right.
more than anything, you know, and if you want to be a chef, you want to be a chef. If
Yeah.
you want to work in the hotel, you know, you're a generalist, because you can do a little bit of everything in the hotel business.
But why did the drink mixing, the mixology portion, end up with you?
Because you don't see chefs making drinks.
That's true.
It's bartenders.
Right.
You have to have a skill to talk to guests in the
They
front.
might pour some alcohol in a pan and set themselves on
they
fire.
come to the bar on a regular basis
Just
for wine and
right.
liqueurs, for
Yeah.
cooking. Oh yes, they
Yeah.
say it's for cooking.
Right. Well, we'll have to assume that they're
Yeah.
telling us the truth.
We hope so.
But that's okay. So that's where the division
That
comes
is,
in.
yeah. But we can't have our program without their program, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And if I think you've been at the college and had an
Yes.
opportunity to have one of our luncheons,
Yeah.
and we get some amazing comments from our guests that come in. And sometimes they forget that it's students and that they're at a college, because the service level is so high and the quality of food is so good that, and the comments that we receive are amazing. We had guests in this past week that had been to a college in Ontario. I won't say the name, but but they said that they couldn't believe the level of service
Really?
and the quality of food coming out of our
You know
little
what?
campus.
I'm going to pass you a piece of paper and a pen. Write it down for me, and then I'll know as well.
Okay.
Because I always like to be in the know.
I know, but I don't
knowing.
want to diss another
I know,
college on
I know.
air.
Especially in
Especially
another.
since we're, across Canada.
That's right. Well, you know, I have been to the luncheon last year. Our mutual friend
Yes,
Melanie
Melanie,
Gullison
who's also
brought
a
us.
graduate of our
What
program.
a great day we had.
Yes.
And there was also, I guess, the tourism students that had put on a presentation about the Caribbean that day, and then there
Correct.
was, to match that was Caribbean food. So
Right.
I thought that was really exciting.
Yes, that's how we bring in our travel and tour, international travel and tourism program. Actually, Alexis is a graduate of that program, and then she loved the hotel so much, that's why she decided to come back and take the hotel course.
Okay.
Yeah, but they come out and they'll do a presentation on what's unique to see and do, and what travel papers you need for different countries. This week coming up, it's Italy. Sold out, 72 seats.
Wow.
So our travel and tourism student will do a presentation. The culinary students have prepared a meal, and the hotel students have to come up with, just basically make the tables centerpiece decorated Italian style, and they have a little fun, but they're the manager and the service of the event. They serve the event.
That's very cool. And I have a few more questions, obviously, but as you may or may not know, it's a call-in show. If anybody has any questions for Kim or myself, or possibly later for Alexis when we move over to the bar, our number is 529-8826, or long distance 855-529-8826. Now, you're involved in other events at the college other than just the courses that you teach.
Yes, well, as part of at the community college, we figure that we realize that if we do events, there's a lot of things that we can't just teach in a classroom. So we get involved with a variety of different things in the community. Our biggest event that we do is called Flavors New Brunswick, and it started about 6 years ago now. I might be off a year or two, where Granite Town Farms owner at the time, Beth Hatt, approached our culinary team about making recipes using their products that they offer at Granite Town Farms, their blueberry products. And so the students created recipes using their products, and she had some invited guests. It was about 50 or 60 people that particular evening, and they sampled all these different dishes that the culinary students prepared, and then they voted on which was the best dish, and they actually got a bursary of $500 from Granite Town Farms. Well, it was such a hit. The next year we invited True North Salmon, which is now True North Seafood, and Garron. So we thought, here we're in Charlotte County, what's better, blueberries, chocolate, and salmon?
Right.
So they did the same thing. Well, that year we had 90 free invited guests in the dining room that year, sampling these foods, and then also we did a bursary for the best plate, and they picked one using the best plate that used all 3 ingredients, and then the best plate that featured each of the different items, you know, blueberry, salmon, or chocolate. And then we said, we should invite, you know, sell tickets and do this big. Well, our first year we thought, well, if we get 150 people, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh, no, 300.
Wow.
We had about 30 vendors, and the whole premise was celebrating New Brunswick. As a New Brunswick, I'm a proud New Brunswicker myself. And what better way to celebrate it than celebrate what food we have, from everything from blueberries, salmon, lobster, scallops, dulse, you know, everything that was related. And we also have Picaroons beer, wine gardens. One of the alcohols that we're going to feature tonight is Blue Roof Vodka from New Brunswick. It's just new on the shelf this year, and we're hoping that they're going to join us for the first time at Flavors this year as well. But it's just people sample everything New Brunswick.
Well, again, I was fortunate enough to come out. Patrick and I both went down to Flavors this year, and what a fantastic event. I mean, it's the who's who of the area, and the food is just incredible. And it's such a nice way to sample different things. And I remember there were fresh oysters. And,
yes, we had Beausoleil oysters from up northern New Brunswick, yes.
And Picaroons was there because Sean Dunbar was on my show the next night.
I saw his show, yes.
And it was fantastic. Lisa Aronson from Five Kings was there. Melanie was there.
Yeah.
And Chef Alex Hahn, who's been on the show a couple of times.
Yeah.
So it's
we're very fortunate too, because we have a lot of tremendous chefs just here in St. Andrews and Charlotte County area, and they're all participate with us every year and support the event immensely.
And that's a big deal for you, isn't it?
It is.
Like, I mean, it must be a lot of work.
Well, and it's great. It is a lot of work to plan, but now it's becoming a little bit of a well-oiled machine. You know what you want, and you know, every year we try to change it up. We have live entertainment on the stage. Last year we had a band called Tomato from New Brunswick, and so every year we try to have a lively band because we want it to be fun as well. So it's almost like a New Brunswick kitchen party. You know, is kind of the idea that
on
we
a
have
grand scale.
on a grand scale.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
no,
but
we had so
Rick
much...
Doucette, our you know, Minister of Agriculture, Aquaculture, and whatever else he has there. I'm sorry, Rick, but he's been a very strong supporter of it. We had Buy Local with the government there last year, and they made a lot of great connections with some of the producers. Like even I'm not sure if you're familiar with Big Sky, which is, oh my goodness, I forget the berry, sea buckthorn berry.
Oh yes.
They came the first year just as a guest. Loved it so much. They've been a supporter every year since.
Yeah, we met them. I believe it was the day before Flavors because they were doing some...
Yeah, they did a class demo for us.
Yes, with different food. And they have wine.
They do. Their wine's lovely.
And they were even working with chocolates, as I recall.
Yes.
But I had tried that...
That's what you need for your cold.
Yeah, so if you're watching tonight, send over a bottle.
The sea buckthorn.
But it was fantastic. And she said a lot of people find it tart, but I thought it was really good.
It is. Yeah,
but what a unique thing to, and they're from around Fredericton, I believe.
Yeah, from the Fredericton area.
So now, do people come to you? I'm sure they do now and say, we want to participate in Flavors?
We do get a few people that come and want to be participant, but we send out an invitation to the vendors that have always been with us. We want them to be first right because we have limited space in our little college. We thought about expanding and going to the Civic Center, but then that means we don't have a real, we have a kitchen, but not quite as what we have here. And it's a lot more work.
And what made it nice?
And it's mainly the students that work it. So.
And what was nice, Kim, was that you had 3 separate areas. The dining room area, and then the gymnasium, and then over where the cafeteria was, which you've just renovated. So that should be exciting for next year.
Yes. Well, we had a few people complain about the music being too loud.
Oh, really?
And so that's
probably
why we set the cafeteria up. If they want a quiet area, they go to the
one of those old miserable
I can't imagine you being like that.
You have no idea. Tomato. There were a lot of racket.
They were a lot of fun.
They were really nice. So it's a great event. People are walking around, and I met a lot of really nice people. I met Elizabeth Rose's sister. Michael Ann. And Elizabeth, you know.
I do. It's a small world. I met her sister that night. Didn't know Elizabeth. The next day, Elizabeth emailed me, and then this past year, I took a wine course with Elizabeth at Italian by Night.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, she's coming on again in a couple of weeks because she was on not that long ago. And so once you get Rob Patry in your blood, once you're on this show, you can't leave, and you want to come back.
They just come to talk to you, Rob.
Yeah, well, it is. Well, thank you. It's very sweet of you to say that. I don't know if it's true, but we'll pretend like it is. Now, I believe are anybody? I don't know if I've lowered my earpiece. I tend to do that, and then I forget it. Is it break? Are we getting close to break time, Patrick? We're 5 minutes away. Okay, so we can talk for another 5 minutes, and then you know what it is. I'm just dying to get to that bottle of vodka.
I know it is. I know it is.
You know, I'm not getting. Well, I won't even say that. So are you going to be able to announce when Flavors is next year?
We are. Actually, do you want me to do that now?
Sure. Well, or did you want to do it later?
We can do it later.
No, we'll do it at the end of the show.
Yeah.
We'll do a drum roll.
So
and we'll announce it.
Just another part of Flavors New Brunswick is we raised money the first year, and we thought, what should we do with all this money that we've raised? And we gave it to the food banks. And we wanted to give it to not just Charlotte County food banks. We wanted to reach the area because we had a lot of suppliers from across the province, and we had a lot of guests came from across the province. So we decided to partner with Harbour Lights campaign with CBC, and they basically raised money starting the 1st of December till I think it's the first week of December. They raise money to light the big tree in the harbour front in St. John, and all that money goes to the food banks from St. Stephen to Sussex.
Oh, nice.
So we called them and said, listen, we have a big check for you. You're doing your road show. How about doing it at the community college? And they said, sure. So our students this year, it'll be Monday, December the 4th. Is the 4th, yes.
Yeah.
From 6 a.m. till 8:30. There'll be a breakfast available by donation with the Harbour Lights campaign, and they'll be doing a broadcast live from CBC Radio with Elke Samard as the host, and we'll be making the announcement of what our contribution from Flavors will be this year. Last year it was 10 grand.
Wow.
And so I don't have the numbers all completely calculated for the big check this year, but we'll make that announcement then.
Okay, so Harbour Lights breakfast is Monday, December 4th from 6 to 8:30.
And anybody can drop in.
Okay, and is there bacon? That's my question.
Well, I don't think there's bacon.
There's no bacon.
Always feature New Brunswick products. So you'll be guaranteed blueberries, you're guaranteed salmon, and you're guaranteed chocolate.
Okay, so we got eggs.
They're talking about doing a French toast this year with a blueberry thing and then a salmon something on the side.
Okay, so that's pretty close, but no bacon.
No bacon.
But can I bring my own bacon?
You can bring your own bacon.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. No, I don't.
The cafeteria will be open too, so you can go to the cafeteria, buy bacon.
Pick some up there.
Yeah.
But the salmon, no, I'm a big salmon. Oh, I love that smoked salmon.
Yes.
Is it going to be smoked salmon?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's the candied salmon. If you had that, it's delicious.
I know. Oh, the candy?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm addicted to that.
Oh,
that's amazing.
Yes.
And then 6 a.m., that's kind of early for old men like me.
Well, I'm old. I have to be there for 5 o'clock to get the coffee on and everything set up. Yes.
Okay. Well, you know what? It's almost break time now. Our director, Dave Welch, has told me, and you know Dave.
I do.
I'm supposed to. He's asked me to ask you something.
I've known Dave
later.
a long time.
Okay. Yeah. We'll talk about that later. So after, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to go over to the bar, and Alexis Murray is going to make us a special drink. So we'll be right back with Rob Patry Live. Visible. Can the people of the world see me? People of the world, I'm here. I'm in the bar, my favorite place. You'll always find me here.
Hey, me too.
And I know I have this lovely young lady here who's a bartendress. That's not really a word, is it?
I don't think so.
No, it's a bartender or a mixologist. What do you prefer?
Well, they're two different things, but at this point, I'm just a bartender.
You're a bartender. You're working your way up to mixology.
Yeah, eventually.
Well, what does that mean? Like you're making Mai Tais and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, and you make all of your own infusers that go into things, like bitters and things that change the flavor profiles of all of your drinks, but you do it yourself.
You know what? I used to make something, but I forget what it was. You know what? It
must have been something pretty good if you forget it.
Yeah, completely useless. Okay, so if I haven't even said your name, it's Alexis Murray.
It is.
And you're a student at NBCC.
I am, yes.
And what do you think of Kim? Be honest. Don't even look at her. She's not even in the area.
She's okay.
She's a horrible teacher.
She does a very great job.
True.
Definitely. All of my instructors do a very great job.
She's a wonderful teacher.
She really is.
Does definitely. A good job. And then so has she shown you how to make drinks and stuff?
Well, we actually don't start learning
until January.
Until January. Once we start doing our restaurant evenings, that's when we'll start doing some actual bartending in class. But I have a little bit of bartending experience already.
Okay, because you work at the Algonquin.
I do, yes.
So if I come down there and I ask for you, you'll make a special drink.
I will, Tuesday night I'll be there waiting for you, Rob.
Okay. Okay, so what are you making for us tonight?
So today we're going to be making a Fundy Caesar.
A Fundy Caesar.
Yeah, so it's going to be one of our signature drinks that we do once our restaurant nights start.
Okay.
And I believe that the plan is actually they're going to try and incorporate a couple of more garnishes, really nice, maybe a lobster claw or something along those lines.
Okay, now why didn't you bring a lobster claw for me tonight?
Because you didn't buy one for
me. I'll give them a piece of lime and you'll be happy.
Or
a piece of dulse,
dulse is good for your colds.
See, because Kim didn't tell me that there was going to be lobster and shrimp and oysters and clams.
Well, that's because Kim had things to talk about too. You didn't want to be over at the bar.
You know what? And honestly, I shouldn't be knocking her because I still have another segment.
Exactly. Yeah.
It should be nice. So I just lost my earpiece. My earpiece fell out. Well, this is what happens on live TV.
It's right here.
Hooked up to
it's
me
still
somewhere.
Up top.
Jeez. No, this is going from bad to worse.
No,
have you heard I have a cold? And you're probably going to get it tomorrow.
You know what else? Tabasco is really good for curing colds.
Okay,
some spice.
Good. Now, I know a little bit about Caesars.
Okay.
And we use Clamato and vodka. You know, one time back in the day, am I boring you with these stories?
Not at all. No, I'm happy to hear them.
I thought, you know what? Why am I spending all this money on Clamato? I'll buy a really cheap can of Allen's tomato juice and just throw in some clam juice. It didn't work.
It's not the same.
No, it was horrible.
There's lots of spices and things in
there
too.
MSG, I think. There's a pile of that. That's what you need.
Yeah, but that's the good stuff.
Okay, now what's in the glass bottle? That's what interests me.
So that is called Blue Roof Vodka.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's new on the shelves out this year. It's from a little town in New Brunswick, southeast corner.
Okay.
And it's a potato vodka, so it's naturally gluten-free as well.
Okay.
And originally they still are potato farmers, and they were pretty much looking for something to do with all the smaller potatoes that couldn't go into the bags that they sell in the grocery store, Strengths potatoes. So they decided that they didn't want to be wasting them, and now here they are making
So they thought, make vodka.
May as well, right?
I have in my vegetable drawer at home a lot of potatoes that have probably been sitting there for the past 6 months and are rotten. So are you suggesting that I build a still and make my own vodka?
Well, I mean, you could. It probably wouldn't taste as good as Blue Roof does,
Wouldn't be as good as theirs.
No, definitely
And where is this from? I'm going to pick up the bottle. So, we'll give them a bit of a plug here.
So it's from a little town of Malden.
Malden.
It's kind of in between Port Elgin and the Confederation Bridge. So.
Okay. Now, this is from Strang's Family Farm.
Yeah, potato farm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, so now with their leftover potatoes, they make vodka.
The smaller potatoes.
Smaller potatoes. Now, why is it called Blue Roof, or did you say that already? No,
I don't think I said it already, no. So they, like I said, they are potato farmers, and all of their buildings and all of their house and everything, they all have the blue roof.
So they thought, well, this is a great idea.
Exactly.
So now, do I just take a swig from the bottle? No,
well, it's not going to be the same.
No.
I mean, it's pretty good sipping vodka, though.
Yeah, but you know what? We don't want to do that.
No, not at all.
So do you want to talk about the ingredients?
Yeah,
here?
Definitely.
This is fascinating.
So Caesars, you can make them your own very easily. So that's kind of what we're doing here with our Fundy Caesar. So instead of using the traditional celery salt rimmer, we're going to be using a dulse salt rim. Dulse is a little salty as is, but you may as well just add a little bit more salt.
Okay.
Of course, Tabasco and Worcestershire sauce.
Okay, wait a second now. Okay, I got to go back to the pronunciation of that word.
Of course we do.
Because I'll again give you the proper, it's Worcestershire
Exactly.
sauce.
I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah, that's about it. That's, and every time I say it, it's something different. Did you know that was anchovy-based?
I do now.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's
you
one
learn
of the
something
main
new every
ingredients.
day.
That's why it has a wonderful flavor.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so go ahead. Start
all
mixing
right,
the
so
drink.
of course, you know, you're going to take your limes. You want to rim your glass first things, and that makes all of your...
Oh, I see. So the lime is how the salt sticks to the glass.
Yeah, you know, we don't just lick it. No, you use...
You know, that's what you do when you come to my house.
That's what you do at home.
Mental
That's
note
what you
to
do at
self.
home, not on Rob Patry Live.
Yeah, don't do that. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the next step...
Oh, now wait a second.
Oh, okay. I'm jumping the gun.
Well, yeah, you're going too fast.
Oh, sorry.
You gotta take your time. I'm very slow to absorb information. But what caught my eye here was it's a blue roof glass.
Yeah.
Which
Mason
matches
jar,
this.
of course.
A mason jar. Okay.
Truly New Brunswick.
Okay, that was it. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I won't interrupt again.
No, please do. It's your
Please
show.
do. I like that. See?
So we're just gonna...
Both you and Kim are going to be full-time guests.
Perfect. We're just gonna ice.
No, again, a guest that brings their own ice. This is fabulous.
Well, we always come prepared. That's what it is in the hospitality industry. You've always got to be prepared for ever-changing situations.
Okay,
so
we've
we like
got
to
ice.
put lots of ice in our drinks.
Okay.
Okay?
Why is that?
Well, it just makes them taste better because they're cold.
All right, fair enough.
All right. So, Rob, do you like your Caesars mild, medium, or spicy?
You know what? I'm going to go medium.
Medium?
Yeah.
Perfect. So we'll just go with two.
All right.
2 little swigs of Tabasco here.
So if I have too much of that, I'll have an upset tummy tomorrow.
We'll do a little bit more for you.
Okay, yeah. Do it like you would normally do.
Perfect.
Like, you know, if I go to the Algonquin, that's where you're working now.
That is where I'm working.
And I say, I'm going to have a Caesar. Are you going to ask me if I want it spicy or mild?
Yeah, I'm going to say mild, medium, or spicy.
Really?
And then I'm also going to ask if you want, you know, vodka, tequila, whiskey, lots. People
okay,
like,
now hang on.
I know.
A whiskey Caesar.
They're very popular, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Whiskey and tomato juice.
Not so much here in St. Andrews, but when you get outside, they almost had like a smokiness to it. So you get
But whiskey and tomato juice, that almost sounds
Clamato juice.
Oh, yes. What did I say?
Tomato.
I said tomato. Actually, whiskey
That's
and
a
tomato.
Bloody Mary.
Right, but not even.
No.
And you do whiskey. What about rum? Rum and Clamato?
I haven't really heard of the rum. My favorite's with tequila, actually.
Tequila
Caesars are my favorite.
You know what I used to, I don't do that. I used to have a thing of lime and some salt and then just down a couple of dozen other shots of tequila. Yeah, we don't do that anymore.
No, not at all.
No, we behave ourselves.
We try to, at least.
What's next? What are you doing next?
Well,
do you need my help with it?
Do you want to add some?
No, I don't know.
Do you want to pronounce this one for me? You can help us with that. Perfect.
Oh, you got the plastic stuff.
Yeah, we've got a brand new bottle for you.
Yeah. Well, that's nice.
So, do you like the muddy?
Muddy?
I know.
No, what's that?
It just makes them darker.
Kids are just making stuff. You know, when I used to go into a bar, I'd say, I'll have a Caesar, and they'd bring it to me.
I know, but people
They'd say muddy, medium, small, large, orange, lemon, lime. Okay, yeah, muddy, extra muddy.
Well, I like them extra muddy, so
do you?
We'll just add a little bit more.
All right.
Perfect. And now, I guess we can get to the
most critical part.
Yeah, the main event here.
Okay, so this is why you're going to school, to be able to throw shots of vodka in the glass.
Well, yes.
Okay.
Responsibly.
Of course.
Definitely responsibly.
Course.
So,
no, that's a jigger, right? Is that what they call that?
That is what they call it.
Yeah.
Yes.
See,
very, very nice.
Thank you.
So we're just going to add an ounce. That's because you've got to go. You've got to go back out there, back on. So.
Okay.
We won't add too much. And then, of course, your filler.
You're right, the Clamato. Now you shake that first.
You got to give it a shake
Get all
first.
those. You ever put horseradish in a Caesar?
I do if people ask for it, but more traditionally horseradishes for Bloody Marys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're more of a traditionalist, but yet you put whiskey in.
Well, I like to be a mix of both. Right. You really have to be these days.
Okay. I'm sorry,
You've got to make your own. You've got to make your own
That's
style.
life. You got to learn to be tough.
Exactly.
Did I tell you I got some problems at home? Because you're.
I told you I'm not certified.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Because I was going to say the wife's giving me a hard time.
Well,
the kids are.
I just say give them a hard time back.
The dogs, the dogs are driving me crazy. Okay, so now we're ready. Now the most important, critical part is the garnish.
Exactly.
So what do we got here?
So, well, first of all, I like to add my straw first, just
Add
to
your straw.
give it a little mix.
Okay.
So, you know, the spicy bean.
Right.
Now, these ones are actually made by the culinary students that we had last year.
Last year,
Yeah,
okay.
so
it's an old bean you're giving me.
well, no, they're pickled.
Are they in? Oh, they're pickled beans.
They are,
so
yes.
that's safe then.
Exactly. That's how you keep your
Are they
vegetables
spicy?
good through the winter. They
Spicy
are.
hot? Okay.
Yeah, so instead of using, you know, the store-bought ones, we're going to use our own, make them
Good,
nice and
yeah.
beautiful. We're going to add a lime, so you can squeeze a little bit of lime juice in afterwards here.
Nice.
And then we're going to add some dulse.
Now, what am I supposed to do with that?
Well,
Because I'm not a fan.
Well,
I'll be honest.
I mean,
with
you can always just pick it out.
Do you
but
eat
there's
this
no
stuff?
fun in that.
I
Of
bet
course,
you
I'm an
don't.
East Coaster.
Really? I was going to say you
I'm
look like.
born and bred New
I'm
Brunswick.
sure Kim doesn't do that. She probably does.
You know, I'm sure she does. And we're going to add a lot of dulse because it's
Okay.
going to add some nice height and volume to the drink, and it's going to make it look just as good as it tastes,
Right.
if not even better.
Okay. Well, it looks amazing. It looks beautiful.
It does,
Now,
doesn't it?
did you invent this? Is this your drink, the Bay of Fundy Caesar?
This is not, no, I believe this is Kim's.
Well, Kim invented
We're going to add
it.
another
She didn't
bean
tell
just
me
for
that.
good measure.
I'll have to talk to her about that when
But
we get back to the studio.
Yeah, about all of her ideas.
Yeah. Okay, so now what? Now I taste it?
Yes.
We're up to there.
Here you go, sir.
Well, okay, first thing we'll do is we'll show that to the camera. And look at that. That's a thing of beauty. Have I got the, yeah, there they are there.
There's the
Okay,
logo.
so there's, so it kind of looks very much like a little garden. Mm-hmm. It's very nice.
Exactly.
Okay, so,
It's an appetizer.
So do I drink
along
from
with
the
your drink.
straw?
Of course
Is that
you do.
the deal?
Well, I mean, do you like the dulse and the salt on the side?
Well, I do, but you know what? I'm going to make a big mess. I'm
well,
like a child.
there you go,
And
you
I'll
better-
tell you, there'll be tomato or clamato juice
There
all
you
over my tie, and you can't take me anywhere. So I'm just going to have a little sip. So here we go. Cheers, by the way. Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy
I mean,
November. Oh, that's very nice. Muddy. Lots of the W there.
The W sauce.
Yeah, that's very
The good
nice.
stuff.
The good stuff. No, it's very nice. It's a
Good.
nice vodka. You can taste it.
Yeah?
You know what? I'm going to go easy on that. We'll pass that around to the crew. Because, oh boy, that's good. That's very nice. Well, thank you very much,
No,
Alexis.
thank you.
Now, is there
Appreciate
anything
it.
else you need to tell me? Because I don't think it's quite break time yet. So what we need to do is improvise. You got a joke you can tell me or something? Any good jokes? Bartender, you need to know a good joke.
I know I do, but you're putting me on the spot.
Putting you on the spot. We had a comedian on last week.
Did you?
Shane Ogden, you know him from St. John? No. Just say yes. Always say yes.
Yes, well, I was thinking
You're
about
a
it.
big fan of his.
I am
yeah.
a huge fan.
Yeah, and he came on. He didn't really tell any jokes. Dave's talking to me. Maybe he's telling me it's break time. I don't know. Somebody is. Well, Kim's writing notes from the other
she's
room
trying
from the studio because you can see that we're drowning here.
Yes. Okay. Well, I mean, I am a bartender, and I have been for about 6 months now at the
Oh, you're telling us
Algonquin.
about you.
I guess I could a
Okay,
little
where
bit.
were you born? Start with that,
I was
Alexa. Let's go way back.
born in Moncton, New Brunswick.
Moncton. Okay,
Yes.
so that's on the other side of the province.
Yeah, a little
on the
bit.
water.
Close to the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, close.
Okay, and where'd you go to grade school?
Port Elgin Regional School.
And high school?
Tantramar Regional High School.
Okay, and now why did you want to get involved in this?
So I took international travel and tourism, where I worked at the hotel in the front desk. And
at the Algonquin.
At the
You
Algonquin.
just call
sorry.
it. You call it the hotel.
I do, yeah.
Because everybody knows the hotel is the
well,
Algonquin.
yeah, exactly.
Is it true that Stephen King wrote The Shining? About that's not true, is it?
Well, he did stay there quite often. He's
Did
only
he?
from Bangor, which is only 2 hours
Have you
south
been to
of
his
here.
house?
I have not.
Got- no?
No, I've been to Bangor though.
Well, you can go to his house. Everybody does.
Could.
Lately, people have been
I know, but
putting
that's
up,
a little bit weird, I think.
yeah,
I
they've
don't
been
know. I
putting
don't
up
like
red
that.
balloons and stuff
Yeah,
because
no.
that old clown.
That clown.
Thing. I bet
No.
you don't like clowns. Who does?
I mean, you can read me pretty well.
Oh, yeah. Why do you think they gave me a TV show? Okay, so were you working at the hotel?
So I've been working at the resort
ghosts
now
there?
for
A lot of
about.
ghosts?
There's quite a few.
Have you seen anything?
Not myself personally,
But
no.
you've
But
heard
I've
stories.
heard all the stories. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely.
Have you ever noticed that it's never somebody that you're speaking to? It's always somebody that knows somebody?
Exactly.
Why
well,
is
it's the
that?
same. I mean,
What
I'm
kind
just
of
somebody
things
that
have you
knows
heard?
somebody.
Decapitated women?
No, nothing like that.
No?
No.
Nobody's-
There's a couple little quirks that the hotel has, and they really don't make any sense aside from, it must be haunted, must be one of
Right.
the ghosts. Yeah.
No, you're in the bar, like when you go into the restaurant.
Yeah.
You say, oh, yeah, we've
And
been there.
Braxton's,
We had
yeah.
some clam chowder, I think.
Yeah,
or-
seafood chowder.
Last year you
Yeah,
won
wins-
seafood chowder
We
of
did
the year.
last year in St. Andrews. No, but I actually started bartending. About a year ago now, I went to Amsterdam and I took
Oh.
European bartending
Holland,
school.
right? Is it in
Exactly,
Holland?
yeah, in the Netherlands.
Right?
Yeah, so I took EBS for short, which is a internationally recognized bartending school.
What does EBS mean?
European bartending school. I said that, you weren't listening.
Did you? Oh, now you know what? You don't say things like that to the host ever. You know what? Now we're going to break. That's it. I never want to see you again. We're going for break. It's a break time. See, I'm all confused. The liquor's gone to my head. The vodka. We'll be right back. Rob Patry Live. Okay, are we here? I see. I can't see me. I just see a full shot. See, I'm wise to you people back there. I know how this game works. I'm waiting to go to camera 3. Camera 3. No, we got a new director. There we go. There I am. I don't feel comfortable if I don't see myself immediately. Well, that was a lot of fun. Thank you to Alexis Murray from the Hotel Restaurant Operation course at New Brunswick Community College. She made a wonderful Fundy Caesar drink for me, made with see, I can't even talk anymore. New Brunswick vodka. So that's what it does to you. And we're back with Kim Garron. She was very nice about you. She didn't say anything derogatory.
I paid her well before she
did,
came.
yeah. Because you know what, we'll talk later. But
Yeah.
that was a good drink. Oh no, see, Patrick's starting to go for the drink now. I see that.
He wants to try the
He's-
dulce
he's
out.
no, he took all the dulce out. Patrick, tell us how you're enjoying that drink. That'll be good for you. Isn't that wonderful?
It's perfect.
It's a perfect drink.
Yeah, the rum,
Isn't
the
that
vodka
nice?
is very sweet. It's a nice vodka.
It's a nice vodka.
very
I
sweet.
can't believe they're making that with whiskey now.
The Caesars are.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, it
sacrilege.
is. It is. Vodka's now tequila I could accept,
Yes, yeah.
but whiskey I don't. No, Patrick, where are you going with my drink? It's gone. That's it. I'm cut off for the night. Well, that was wonderful. See, now you're doing a good job because she was a wonderful.
Yes, well, she has a little bit of experience because
Yeah.
she went over to Europe to take the European
Yeah,
bartending
she was
school.
saying in
Yes, I had a
Amsterdam.
student a few years take that, and I told Alexis about it when she finished her travel and tourism course, and she said, "Oh, I'd love to do that." So her and a friend went over and took it, and then she got
Oh, is that
bartending
ever
at the hotel.
cool?
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
it's recognized worldwide actually.
Yeah.
The training. It's like I think a 6-week course.
Oh, that's great.
intense bartending
Now, did
course.
you created this drink?
Yeah, we created it a couple years ago for the Flavors New Brunswick event.
Right.
Actually at the college, we try as much as possible to celebrate New Brunswick products.
Mm-hmm.
So we were using the Snow Fox vodka at the start, but where this one is from farm to distillery here in New Brunswick,
Right.
that's why we wanted to feature the Blue Roof, because it's a value add product basically from a potato farmer. It's wonderful vodka, so I wanted to support them.
Oh, is
So,
that ever nice?
yeah, and of course the dulce. I mean, what more? Charlotte County,
Right.
too, and I'm my grandfather was from Bay of Fundy in Nova Scotia side, and I grew up eating dulce since I was just little.
So you're a big fan of dulce.
I love dulce. My
Right.
husband can't stand it. He
Right.
doesn't even want it in the house.
Well, it's I had the opportunity last year to go out on a boat and pick some dulce on rocks, and then it was dried and I tried it, but it was not a flavor that I was accustomed to.
You're from Ontario, right?
I am. Well, originally Quebec. I'm originally from Montreal, then Ontario, and then here.
Yeah.
And here is, I'm just not used to that.
It's
dulse
great. I
thing.
loved giving people dulse that have never tried it before and have no idea what it is, just for their expression.
Yeah. No, I believe I've had seaweed in other forms, and I don't think I'm crazy. You know, I'm having somebody on from that business, I think it's Sugar Dulce, with Steve Bachman. He's coming on in a few weeks, and I know he's a big fan of that. But it's a different sort of flavor.
It is. It's
now,
an acquired taste.
Have you ever fried it? Because apparently it tastes like bacon.
I hear it's very good fried. I haven't had it
Maybe
that way.
you could do that for me on that breakfast. You
Maybe
fry
we'll
up
have
some
to add
dulse.
fried dulse.
Yeah, because then that would fall into New Brunswick, and it tastes like bacon.
Yes.
Okay, so that again, for anybody that wants to go, and we want everybody to go.
Yes.
It's Monday, December the 4th, 6 to 8:30 a.m. And you're there, you said, at 5 a.m. making coffee.
Making coffee, getting things ready. The students are preparing the food, so we have it all out and ready. And it's just first come, first served by donation. And
Is that
it's
nice?
in the front lobby of the college, NBCC, 99 Augusta Street.
Right, and right here in St. Andrews by the Sea.
Yeah, and CBC's morning show will be live broadcast from there.
Okay, wonderful. And then it's just, like you said, it's first come, first serve.
That's correct.
Awesome. Now, I'm just looking at my other notes. So we still have to go back to flavors, but we're going to do that in the last segment. And this is the last segment. I forgot.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about that now, or you still want to hold off on
the
when you're going to
flavors
surprise
days?
the date?
Well, we started last year, was the first time that we actually did tickets online.
Yeah.
And we decided to have them available for Christmas.
Yeah.
So they will be available just prior to Christmas, probably about the second week of December. Through our Facebook website, we'll have a link to be able to purchase tickets, because it's a great idea for buying something for somebody who has everything for Christmas.
I was going to
tickets.
say, that's a great, I'd love somebody to give me that
Yeah,
for
they're great.
Christmas.
It's a lot of fun. And,
Yeah.
and we sell out. Last year we were about a month and a half prior to the event with sold out, no tickets available.
Right.
People calling and emailing asking for tickets. So it's
Well,
a
it's like
popular
those
event.
luncheons you have.
Yes.
They go fast,
They
don't
do, they do. And all of our events that we do at the college, the luncheons are part of our daily schedule. So we have some real people to practice on.
Right.
Because we make all this wonderful food, and it's great for the students to learn about customer service and feeling the pressure of all the people being in the room.
Yeah.
So those are great. We also do a few dinner events, but any event we do in the evening, it's usually for a not-for-profit organization or and especially a charity to raise money and to give back to them. So this year, on December the 7th, the tickets are gone. It's all sold out.
It's already sold out.
Yeah, it's our annual Christmas kitchen party, we call it, where the guests go into the kitchen for the buffet.
Yeah.
And it was so popular this year. It's for the Charlotte County Cancer Society, which is a very popular charity here in Charlotte County, and it's close to a lot of people's hearts. We sold out within minutes, really. I was November 1st, tickets went on sale, or reservations could be made, and literally the first reservation request came in at 12:06 a.m.
Wow.
in my email, so I had to respond.
How do you find out about
I have a
these things?
newsletter. I have a
Do you?
newsletter, so you can email me at kim.garron@nbcc.ca.
Right.
And just say, please add me to your newsletter list. And I send out a newsletter about 3 times a year, just telling you what's going on at the college and our events that we have and how to make reservations. And it's a blind carbon copy, so people don't see, your address isn't
Right.
shared with others. I keep it very private. And
So that's how you find out
That's
about
how
the
you find
events,
out.
and you can book them ahead. Because I'm thinking every time that one of these comes up, sold out.
Yes.
It's always sold out, which
Yeah.
is a great thing.
Well, we have
I
a
mean,
lot of regulars. That's one thing the people here in Charlotte County really support us.
Yeah.
This week, actually, we have a group of Red Hatters coming all the way from St. John. There's 77 ladies.
Wow.
And they could have sold a few more tickets, but we're at our max because we have a small class this year. So, yeah.
And now, how many students are taking your course now?
I have this is the smallest class ever. I have 6 students this year,
Okay.
Which is really a shame because there's so many jobs in the hospitality industry.
Well, that's what you were saying,
So
like
many
they're just
jobs.
dying.
The hotels and the restaurants are
people.
crying for good people. And I mean, I don't know if you've been out to eat lately and what the service is like, and
Yeah.
that's kind of my role, or what I'm trying to do as an instructor at NBCC is to provide better service,
Yeah.
and make it an experience when you go out to eat. I mean, you know, it's expensive to go out, and you go out for the pleasure of it, but you want to be taken care of and taken care of well. And so I'm pretty proud of the students and how they what they do with their careers, and they're all doing quite well.
Yeah, and I think, and I had this conversation with Elizabeth Rowe when she was here. You know, when you go out for dinner today, and it is an expensive thing for folks that, you know, when you're spending that kind of money, but you want it to be a whole experience. It's not just about the food.
It's not just
and
about the food.
And a very important part is the service.
It is.
Is the people at the front of the room. You know, the people that greet you, that say hello, because for that evening, they're your host almost, aren't they?
They are, and they have to, and in some cases, your life is in their hands.
Yes.
Because they need to know the ingredients of the food.
Yeah.
And if they have any doubt, they need to go double check with the kitchen because of the food allergies today. So you have to be really careful with that. And it's a real shame that it's not recognized more as a profession, because to be a server out front, you can make a lot of money if you're really good at it. You know, it's it's a fun job.
Yes.
You know, and every day is different, and I mean, it's hard work. Your feet are tired at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, you've made a lot of people happy.
Yeah.
And you've made a good living for yourself.
Yeah. And I think, you know, when I look back at all the places we've eaten, and you think about, well, this was a great meal, that service was such an important part, because you make a connection with your server. He or she is the person that you speak to, that brings you the food, that, you know, takes you through that whole process. And it is a great thing. And I would think more and more people would want to get into it.
Yes, well, we'd hope so. But you know, with the television shows today, it's all about culinary.
Right.
Unfortunately, I mean, well, it's wonderful. It's wonderful for the business, but you need somebody out front to deliver that food. You know, I always say, I teach the culinary students a couple times a year on the service side, and I said, you're the artist, we're the art seller.
Yeah. Well, no, but you're right. And I mean, you can prepare the best meal in the world, but if the person bringing it out
just throws it in front of you.
And a lot of times my questions to the server are not, you know, I don't have allergies or concerns like that, but I may want to know, you know, I don't know what that is.
You're curious.
Yeah. And I'm always very, you know, I engage people, and you may not know it, but I love to talk.
I know, it's wonderful.
Almost a point of aggravation.
It's wonderful.
But it does make a difference, and it really makes that night a special evening.
It does.
And I think it's something that a lot more young folks should be interested in.
You know, if I was to do my career over again, I probably would have stayed as a server longer.
Yeah.
Because the money was good, and I would have liked to have traveled a little bit when I was in my early 20s. But at the time, I got really hooked on the Algonquin. I loved the Algonquin, and I wanted to run up the corporate ladder. So I went up with Canadian Pacific Hotels, and I became a supervisor really, you know, at a young age, and then a manager, and so on. So. But I love serving. I work part-time in the summer. I pick different restaurants just so I stay fresh.
Yeah.
And this year I was a hostess at the Harbor Front.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I had so much fun each day going into work and seeing the guests and helping the servers, and it was a lot of fun.
I know that it's a lot of hard work, and it's something you have to have a great, you know, personality, and that's something that I've never been known to have either. And I have a terrible work ethic, and I can't really.
I can't see that, Rob.
And I have no personality. But I've never done that. But I would think that would be fun.
It is. Well, it teaches you a lot of things because of time management, and you're juggling a lot of things at the same time.
Yeah.
Your memory, trying to remember everybody's
See, that's
orders.
my problem right there. I have no. You know, I can barely remember your name, Allison. And I apologize for that, Mary.
You're funny.
But luckily I've got Jean written down here. But that's a real problem, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's a great industry to be
Yeah.
in. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I would hope that a lot of kids would want to take it, and especially I didn't even know that the bartending part is part of that.
It is part of it, and we're looking at every couple of years we take a look at our program and say what do we need to change or adjust.
Yeah.
And we're taking a close look at it this year. And one of the things we thought about was that we need to put a little bit more emphasis on the bartending.
Yes.
So we're looking at changing it so we have a mix of the basics of understanding the spirits, beer and wine in the fall, and then get really into the mixology part of it after Christmas, so that they're putting it all together, so they learn about the different products in the fall, and then putting it all together in the winter season. So it gives them a little bit more.
Well, now I've just been told we have a few minutes left in the show.
Yes.
So are we ready to make our big announcement?
Sure.
About the next flavors? It's 2018.
2018.
Because we just had 2017.
We just had 2017.
Oh my.
Yeah, we do it in May every year, and the whole one of the other reasons we selected May was to start the season off here in St. Andrews, to bring people in a little bit earlier, and the tourists into town a little bit earlier.
Right.
Last year it was Mother's Day weekend, and we found that there was a few vendors that couldn't come because it's such a busy weekend for them, and they were really important vendors that we wanted to be part of the event. So we're going to go a week early this year.
Okay.
And so it'll be the first Saturday of May, which is May the 5th.
And you remember that date?
I remembered the date.
Okay, so
yes.
I'm going to
My memory's better than yours, Rob.
I know, I can tell. May 5th.
May 5th.
And now, okay, so here I've written it down on my piece of paper here if anybody wants to see. Well, nobody can see, but May the 5th.
Yes.
And when are tickets going to be on sale? Because you said we can get them as Christmas
You will
gifts?
be able to get them the second week of December. It just depends on, like, because I'm the administrator of the ticket sales and stuff. So, but my full-time job is an instructor.
So now, how do they contact you for that?
On Facebook, there'll be an announcement on Facebook, and we went through Eventbrite last year to sell tickets online. Yeah,
perfect.
So all tickets will be online for
Well,
sale.
guess what? You know what? I'm looking at this clock and it says 5 to 9. So either we've skipped a whole hour into the future, or there was a time change this weekend and nobody bothered to tell me.
We gained an hour.
We gained an hour. Okay, so nobody tells me anything, Kim. Kim, thank you so much. It was such a nice pleasure to talk with you tonight about your great course at New Brunswick Community College. And thank you to Alexis Murray for making me that fabulous drink, the Bay of Fundy Caesar. And everybody go down to the college for the luncheons next year and flavors. And on December the 4th, 6 to 8:30, support the Harbor Lights Breakfast. It's a great charity, and you'll be having a wonderful breakfast. And if you see me, bring me some bacon. Thank you very much for watching Rob Patry. We'll see you next week. Good night, everyone.